Deadwax.
Ooh la la, ah wee wee. Ooh la la, ah wee wee. Hey. Ooh la la, ah wee wee. Hey. Ooh la la, ah wee wee.
What's up, all you Prince Daddies and all you hyenas, and welcome to the Deadwax Show. Get out of the groove and get into the Deadwax with Waffles and the Stooge. I am Waffles, and as always, I am joined by my best friend and older brother, Stooge. Stooge, I've asked you this a few times today, but how are you today?
We are suffering from technical difficulties, and as such, let's do the damn show.
Yeah, so everybody watching, please be nice to us today.
This is take 3.
Seriously. Luckily enough that we didn't get too far into the other takes, but we'll see. We're going to see for sure.
But yeah, this show is not starting great. Let's see how it goes.
Seriously. Oh my gosh. Here in Utah, the weather is quite cold still, and so Stooge and I are just trying to exist and be happy.
Blame it on the weather.
So that's how we're doing. That's our answer. Also,
when in doubt,
if you're watching us on YouTube, I drew on my hands a Sharpie earlier, and then I tried washing it off, so it just looks bad now. So please don't ask what disease I have. It's not worth the conversation. It's not worth it. Stooge, since this is our third take, should we just jump right into pickups we got?
Yeah, we could jump right into pickups if you want. Do you want me to go
Excellent.
first?
I would love for you to go first.
Okay, let me back up a little bit here. I'm a little close to my camera. But I didn't have anything last go around.
Yes.
So I've made up for it this time.
Ooh.
So I've been trying to get into this band for several years. And you would think I would love them because right off the bat, because right in my hip hop wheelhouse.
Okay.
But for whatever reason, they just never really connected with me.
Okay.
But for some reason, this year, I've listened to them more and more. I'm like, this is actually really cool stuff.
Yep.
And as such, I have picked up 3 of this artist's albums.
Man.
In the last
converted
2
quick.
weeks.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So I'll start with this one. We're doing Run the Jewels.
Run the Jewels.
So I got this bad boy at Target, or as some other people like to pronounce it, Target. Anyways, here, I'll just take it out.
Hell yeah, you will.
It's a really cool.
Ooh, that is beautiful. And that was a Target?
Red, yep, with a black splatter.
Wow.
Looks really fancy schmancy.
That is fancy schmancy.
As you can see, I'm still keeping it in this really fancy paper sleeve.
Bully him, everybody. Bully him in the comments.
I still have not swiped it out yet. I haven't even played this yet. But
beautiful, though. Beautiful pressing.
You gotta love that vinyl on paper scratch sound.
You gotta love it.
I'm not gonna put it back in.
The pieces of paper and fiber that are getting into the grooves. Oh!
And yeah, we got to get them out of the grooves.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there's that one right there that I had to share.
Beautiful.
Here, I'm putting it back in the plastic sleeve. Look at that case.
Which Run the Jewels album is that?
That's the first one.
Oh, it's just the first one. Okay, so
Run the Jewels Uno, I guess is what you would call it. I'm trying to find the place to put it, but whatever. I'm just gonna set it right here. Hopefully it won't fall.
Sick.
All right. I told you I got 2 other ones as well.
Yes.
So I will show you these real quick. I got Run the Jewels 3.
Heck yeah.
Comes on an opaque gold vinyl. It's not really that fancy, so I don't feel the need to take it out and show you.
Fair.
But I also got Run the Jewels 4.
Oh
this
my
one
gosh.
I will take out and show you. So those who have watched my TikToks have seen this already, but it bears repeating with how cool this one is as well. Another cool splatter.
Oh, wow. That's
clear.
Sick. Yeah.
Clear, but it's got black, blue, like baby blue, and pink splatter in it.
And it
looks really cool. Yeah, and it matches the theme of the album cover and everything really well.
Sick.
So, yep, I just wanted to share that.
Love it. Nothing's worse than a bad splatter, but nothing's better than a good splatter. So that's awesome.
I'll put that back in just a minute. Just a couple other things real quick to share. I also got did quite a bit of pickups. Sorry.
Hey, you got nothing to be sorry about.
I got these 2. These are both just on standard black. So I got Muse. What's this one called? Starlight, like satellites and black holes and revelations.
Black holes and revelations. Yeah. Starlight Express. Yeah.
But it's got what's that one song on here? Starlight, I think is like one of the hits on here.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, it's just a really
great
good
album.
Muse album. Yeah. So I got that, and then We got Pony by Rex Orange County.
Awesome.
For those of you who are wondering, ew, why'd you get Rex Orange County? I think I'd like to mention that, he was accused of sexual misconduct last year, but he was also all the charges were dropped last year in December as well. So
There you go.
the investigation found no merit in the claims of the accuser, and so he's in the clear. So if you sold your records,
music from canceled out artists, he is being smart.
I'm trying to be conscious of it, but I wouldn't say I don't haven't bought or own any albums from a canceled artist.
Yeah.
So, anyways, and then the last two. Sorry, I'm just going to put these down right here on the
You're
ground.
fine, dude.
My last two. Just got to share these. Boom.
Ooh,
Stranger Things. This is the like the score from the show. So it's not like the soundtrack with Kate Bush and Metallica and all that. It's like all the stuff in between, which is really great.
That's sick.
Kyle Dixon and Michael Steen are the guys, and they have done they've done the music for every single season of Stranger Things.
And the score for Stranger Things is rad. So,
it's incredible. I think it's equal part of the show as anything else.
Absolutely.
So I got every single season. I've got the scores for it, even though it all kind of sounds the same.
Yeah,
I just enjoy it so much. So
yeah, so sick.
So yeah, those are my pickups, friend.
Love it. Okay, I got 5 as well. Man, we went nuts the past couple weeks.
You did go nuts.
Nuts, a little bit nutsy. And mine are, I don't think you'll know any of these artists, so my apologies. First one, though, these all came on really pretty pressings, so I did luck out with great pressings. First one is Just Another Day by Never Ending Game. Great hardcore band. I love this artwork, too. Super sick. And then this one, the pressing is a smash of blue, yellow, and white.
Smash.
So it looks like the Earth, and I think it's really, really beautiful.
Oh, that is cool.
The next one is This World Is Too Much by Restraining Order.
It is
highly
too much.
Recommend. Great band. And
do you think they have restraining orders?
They probably do it from each other. They're not allowed to play on stage together. This is a black and white and gray smash. I love smashes. Smashes have become like a passion.
A
smashing. Yeah. And then this is No Good at Goodbyes by Gridiron.
I already saw it.
Exactly. This is a pinwheel, red and clear pinwheel with black splatter throughout.
It's a pinwheel splatter. Yeah, it looks great.
Super cool. These are 3 hardcore bands, all from Triple B Records. That these all came together. These were just repressed too. And speaking of Triple B, we're premiering the new water bottle today, and it is a Triple B water bottle. Gosh dang it, Chris, turn it right. There you go.
Triple B, 100%.
Exactly. Got to drink my waters better. So.
Do you think it's hardcore to say you're hardcore?
It's not hardcore unless you live hardcore. But the Legend of the Rent was way hardcore.
Yeah. And it was way past due, wasn't it?
Exactly. 2 more records. I got these at Graywell. Shout out Graywell. We shout you out every episode because you're our favorite place in the world. First one is Habitual Offender by Spy. I adore this band. And this is one side. This is a screen print on one side.
That's cool.
It's a orange with a white splatter, and then this really interesting yellow. I don't know what you call it, like a tri-strip. I don't know. I've never seen anything quite like it.
Go for it. The cover looks very childish, but that's record looks phenomenal.
Exactly.
I'll just say
I will say this: we can be honest on the Deadwax show, right? We can be honest about records.
Yes, we can.
This was way too much money. I think, I'm not even exaggerating. I think there's 8 minutes of music on here, and it was $40. But I adore Spy, and it was one of those like you can't get these anywhere. They sold out immediately online, so I was like, but I have to have it. So in my mind, I was like, imagine it's a 7-inch that you're trying to collect, and it would cost the same. So I just bit the bullet anyway.
Yeah.
But that pressing turned out great, so I was very fine with it. Yeah. And then the last one is a very big deal. This is the End and Cult Leader Split. It was my favorite EP of last year, but they didn't get the vinyl until right now. So very excited. End being a super group, and then Cult Leader is a local band to Salt Lake City. It is our best metal export. And then I'll pull it out. So because Cult Leader's from Salt Lake City, most of the members of the band used to work at Graywell. So they got a lot of Cult Leader stuff. They got a lot of cool stuff. And for this record, Graywell got their own exclusive pressing of it. That you can only get through Graywell. Exactly. It's an orange and black smash. Turned out really pretty too. I don't want to drop it. But yeah, so the Cult Leader always has cool stuff for Graywell. They always hook Graywell up, and it's really rad that Graywell, even on the Cult Leader is pretty big for a Utah band. They're touring the world. So when they put out the official announcement about the vinyl, and they put the variants and how much each one. It was really cool to just see like Gray Whale exclusive out of I think 300 or maybe 150. Anyway,
Nice.
So it was super cool. And then the same thing that was like I adore that split. Don't get me wrong, it was amazing, but it's 4 songs and it's on a 12-inch, so it's one of those you just smile and go, great, I'll buy it anyway. Yeah.
Support your favorite artist, right?
Support your favorite artist in your local record store.
So, Cult Leader.
Cult Leader, yep.
What, like they're metal? What kind of music are they?
They're a metal band. I think they're, if you want to get real technical, I would classify them as death grind, but
death grind.
Yeah.
So like you go and you listen to it and you grind on people in the crowd.
And you wish you were dead.
Until they're dead. You grind them to death.
Man, that's the way to go. Let me tell you. That's the way to do it. You grind it.
How did Chris go? At a death grind concert.
Stooge death grinded it. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Cult Leader's rad though.
Cool.
Utah's music scene is very odd. So it's cool to have a good band go somewhere.
I think you could just put Utah's insert anything.
It's very odd. Yeah, exactly. Utah's soda shops are very odd, which agreed. Let's talk about the Deadwax challenge before we launch into today's topic.
Okay, let's do it.
So if you did not know, hopefully you do know, but throughout the month of January, we've been doing a vinyl challenge on the internet is what I almost said.
On the internets.
On Instagram and TikTok.
I don't do the emails. I don't know.
The emails? Yeah, sorry. I'm not on the emails.
You're not on the emails.
We've been doing a challenge with different prompts every day to encourage people to post and show off their collections and get creative and stuff. And we've had like a bomb response this time. It's been really, really cool to see.
And by bomb, you mean a good.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
oh, bomb doesn't mean anything bad. And like in modern lingo. It's been an amazing.
I know someone responded like, "We're gonna blow you guys up for doing this."
We're on the no-fly list from the Deadwax show. But yeah, it's been super cool. People that have participated and tagged us, and it's been so fun to see people like stretch their creative muscles and have some fun and connect with each other too. That's a huge thing.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
But yeah, it's been awesome. Thank you to everybody that's participated. We've loved seeing all the stuff. A big part of it that Stooge and I promised before we started is that we are going to pick 3 winners that are part of the challenge. Stooge, tell us what criteria the winners fit in.
The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit.
Love it. Yeah.
The Holy Trinity of Deadwax. Deadwax challenge participants will receive a record based on these criteria. Mm-hmm. 1, are you... What are the words? Omnipresent, omniscient.
This is going real well, isn't it? This joke is just killing it. Love it.
I'm gonna grind it into death. But no. So Waffles and I will each pick one that we really enjoyed from the month, and that person will win a record. And then we're also gonna do a third one where we put everyone who participated into a hat or maybe a cup. I don't know, maybe Waffles' mouth or something.
Yeah.
And we're going to draw a winner out of that, and that person will also get a record from us. So
exactly,
those are the criteria. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward.
It's going to be awesome.
The Holy Trinity. There's never been any dispute about that at all.
There's never been any differences in opinion.
There's never been an argument.
Anything.
Nope.
So what we're going to do is...
If there's one thing religions can agree on, it's the nature of the Trinity.
So we'll be putting this episode out on January 30th. And Stooge and I, before we had all our technical problems filming this episode, we planned on, like, around the beginning of February is when we'll announce the winners for each one. Like Stooge said, we're each going to pick one. And then for the other one, I will put all of the names into, like, a wheel, and then we'll take a video of who wins the wheel. So, but we don't know the exact day. So the beginning of February, we'll put it out on our social media. So make sure you're following us on TikTok and Instagram, because that's where we're going to tell everybody, hey, we're picking the winners this day. Be paying attention.
At Deadwax Show.
At Deadwax Show.
On TikTok and Instagram and Twitter.
Man, we got to get better at Twitter.
The Holy Trinity of social media.
There you go. Do you know what that means? Do you know what the devil is then? Facebook. For sure. I'm going to hate Facebook. Okay. Any other thoughts on Deadwax Vinyl Challenge? Anything I didn't mention?
Nope.
Sick. Okay. Go for it.
Go ahead. I was
I was
trying
just
to be
gonna.
as dry
Oh
as
my
I can.
gosh. Are you
Yeah,
gonna
you're
talk? I was just gonna say once again, thank you, but I said it like 6 times, so I was like, I don't need to say it again. But
Yeah, you're good. You got
we're
it.
a mess today, dude. We haven't
Mm-hmm.
even got to the topic.
We're messy bitches.
We are messy sluts, dude, for sure. Let's go into the topic though,
Okay.
because the people are sick of us
Oh yeah.
not talking about music.
I've looked it up. I've looked at the stats. Average listen time is like a minute 20. So yeah, they've already tuned out.
Yeah.
I just made that stat up, but anyways, I should have
Yeah.
said 69 seconds. Damn it!
Oh,
Blew that
that would have been
joke.
so good. Dang it.
All right, so
You blew
today's
that joke
topic.
really hard. Yeah.
Just like I. Anyways, all
Go
right.
for it.
So we were talking. Originally, we had an idea for a topic, based something we saw on TikTok. Waffle shared with me, and it was some guy who was it? I don't even know who these people were.
I don't know who it was either. I don't
Oh
follow
well,
them.
they were
Yeah.
sharing their like top 5 albums they think every person should own. And I thought, oh man, that's Waffle sent. I'm like, let's do that. That seems like a great idea. So we got thinking top 5 albums every person should own. Just so you know, before we jump into this isn't some pretentious. If you don't have these 5 albums, you're not a record collector. This is just something that, in our opinion, what we think are like albums that people will enjoy and like. And by no means does this mean you have to own these records you know, oh, we know better than you. Our musical tastes are elitist taste. And it's not that at all. It's like, hey, we really like these albums. And we think if everyone owned them, they would enjoy them. So that's what it is, just before we launch into this. Anyway, so we're trying to go with 5 albums. And damn, it is hard.
Very hard. It was insane.
And so I can't remember how it got brought up. But
we were just talking about what we should do because it was hard. It was like, man, what do you asked me like, what's your criteria? How are we picking these? It's so hard.
Yeah. And then the idea somehow came about where it's like, well, why don't we do it by decades? Because then we could add more to the list and space it out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. So what we decided to do over maybe the next couple episodes is what I'm deeming our Essentials series, the Deadwax Essentials, like RSD Essentials.
Deadwax Essentials.
Deadwax Essentials.
We'll put a box together. Yeah.
And we're gonna do the past 40 years. So this week, what we're going to cover is the 80s, and we're going to do. We've each selected 5 albums from the 80s that we think every record collector should have. Once again, not like, we know better than you, and our musical taste is superior. It's just like we enjoy these albums. You probably enjoy them too. And we're going to work all the way up through the teen years. So we'll go 80s, 90s, aughts, and then 10s or teens, whatever you want to call those. So this is episode 1 of that. And then I think after that, if we decide to do it some more, we could then do maybe by genre or something like that, you know? So anyway, Death Grind. Yeah, exactly. Top 5
essential Death Grind albums.
Albums everyone should own. Yep.
No, but when we were talking about this idea, one thing that Stooge mentioned is that, that I thought was awesome is these aren't just like Dark Side of the Moon 5 times. These are like ones that have mass appeal that we actually love. So this is not something we Googled. This is our own opinion.
Yeah, and that's something I'll say too. Yeah, it's not. I tried to find stuff a little bit like not completely off the beaten path because I feel like I listen to mostly mainstream stuff. But yeah, on my list, especially for today, like I wanted to provide something a little different. So you're not gonna you're gonna have your thrillers.
I'm the same way.
Like no Madonna is on there, and once again, this is our own flavor too. So this is like the Deadwax Essentials. This isn't like the greatest Essentials. This is like this is what we thought is good. We thought people would enjoy. So this is what would be on our Essentials. Yeah. Okay. So that's
just like go for it.
I was gonna say when I was trying to come up with my original 5 too, that was the same thing. I'm like I didn't want to throw in like Sgt. Pepper's and Thriller and all these other albums that everybody and their mom knows. I want something a little different. So
we're on the same wavelength.
All right. Cool beans.
Do like one back and forth, bounce back and forth.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay, sick. Do you want me to start?
Sure.
Okay, I will start us off. So, the thing about the 80s, the 80s were a rad time for music. And a rad time, like Stooge said, that's great for what we're talking about is we can get like off the beaten path stuff that also was beautiful and important and culturally significant. So, I'm sorry, this one's not going to be a shock for me, what my first one is, but I thought we'd rip the Band-Aid off. And that is Disintegration by The Cure. Absolutely. Famously quoted by South Park as the greatest album ever made. Disintegration is one of the most important records to all of alternative music, because this is where The Cure went from being goth rock to being a radio band. You already could hear the radio. You could hear The Cure on the radio in the 80s, but this is where we get Love Song and Pictures of You. So this is where it was like mass appeal. So it wasn't just weird, scary kids at the mall listen to The Cure. This is where like your sister and your cousin listen to The Cure. And it was huge. This is such a perfect album in every way. It's also very long. I think it's like an hour-long album, which, you know, I should indicate, for some genres, that's the standard, right? For a lot of the genres I listen to, that is a lengthy record.
Yeah.
So when I think of the 80s, though, The Cure is also the band that made the most of the 80s. They're like most of their career that is significant came from the 1980s. So my very first one is Disintegration. Also just like iconic album artwork.
I love that quote. The Cure made the most of the 80s.
The Cure made the most of the 80s. They really did. They cashed in on. They were geniuses with trends and what was going on and how they make things smart and what bands to purposely make enemies of. Coming up with another one.
You know, I am very. I've heard The Cure,
mm-hmm.
and if you played me their most popular song, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I recognize that."
You'd know it.
I am
for sure.
wildly unfamiliar with The Cure for how popular I think they are.
Yeah, they're huge.
I don't own any Cure albums. I don't even know that I've listened to a Cure album, if I'm being honest. So, which is hearing you say, "Oh, they're like so essential or influential on alternative music," which I would consider kind of my bread and butter. I know it just kind of seems strange that I haven't, I don't know, given them a shot. Like that record you just held up, which what's some of the hits off of that? I know you could listen to the whole album through. The whole album's great. Yeah. What are some of the singles or whatever?
So Love Song is the biggest song that came off of Disintegration. The one that goes,
how does that go?
Whenever I'm alone, I will always love you. Yeah. Gotcha. Pictures of You is my absolute favorite song by The Cure, and it's on this album. That was a big single too.
Did 311 cover that song?
Probably. The Cure's been covered a billion times.
I have. Love Song. Oh my gosh.
used to do really good covers. I miss those.
Okay.
But do you know what's a great way to listen to The Cure, Stooge? Is the Deadwax Weekly playlist. Because from this episode, we're going to be on drugs. From this episode, we're going to be adding a whole lot of songs from each of these albums. So what a great time to listen to the Deadwax Weekly playlist to discover music you may not have already been familiar with.
Yeah, I'll have to give the Deadwax playlist a listen this week for sure.
There you go.
All right.
That was my number one. That was mine.
All right. You're your first one. Are you doing yours in order at all?
No.
Or no? Okay.
No.
Then I'll just do this one. So the one I'm about to share, I know I said I'm going to try to get off the beaten path a little bit.
Oh, no.
This one kicked off the 80s, and it's a really, really popular album. So I'm sorry. I'm retracting what I said when it's off the beaten path.
Oh, good answer, though. Good answer.
Back in Black by AC/DC's. Once again, like with my criteria, like I was trying to get off the beaten path a little bit, but at the same time trying to find stuff that has kind of more mass appeal that I think everybody could enjoy. So not saying they can't enjoy The Cure or whatever else you got left. I'm just saying that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
You know? So Back in Black. It's man, it's just got a lot of their bangers on here, like Shoot the Thrill, Back in Black, Hell's Bells. So many great songs. And with AC/DC, I find at least that doesn't matter which album it is, you can kind of put it on and they'll play all the way through. Yeah. Like each of them got that, each song has that. And I think they've been criticized for this a little bit, but they each got that AC/DC guitar, that rock and roll sound.
Yeah.
So this one, and I'm sorry, this will kind of spoil trivia a little bit, but you can always use the help. This is the number 2 selling record of all time.
Back in Black is?
Back in Black is, yep.
I don't think I knew that.
Yep. Number 1 comes from the 80s too. I bet you could guess that one.
Is it Disintegration by The Cure?
It is Disintegration by The Cure.
How wild.
It's Thriller by Michael Jackson.
Yes, of course.
Which I'm sure lots of people would include on their 80s essentials. Of course. And I wouldn't hold it against them. But that's my first one. There's another fact I can give about it, but I'm going to save it for trivia. So.
I love this. Leaving nuggets so people keep listening to the episode.
Yep, little nuggets. So,
Stooge nuggets.
Back in Black, AC/DC.
Love it.
All right.
Okay. My second one, just because we're going to keep going on the
Can I time out for a second? Sorry.
Of course, yeah.
I also want to apologize ahead of hand for the lack of diversity in my selections. Too.
Oh, okay. Do you mean diversity like they all sound like AC/DC, or diversity in like they're all white men?
They're all white men.
Oh, nice. I have one by a female, so I'm
nice. Good
in the
job,
same
Waffles.
boat. Yeah. Oh gosh. So we go. Are we including this part of the episode?
I want people to know how
Rad. Yeah. That we're
how
looking for
lame I am.
diversity. Yeah. Nice. Okay, my number 2. Let's do this. So I think this is another band you're not super familiar with, but I know that you either have heard of a song or you've heard the name of the band a million times, and that is "Hatful of Hollow" by the Smiths.
The Smiths.
The Smiths. Man, the Smiths are a controversial band, just because the members of the Smiths are not quality people. However, the music is very significant. "Hatful of Hollow" is actually, I guess technically, it's not like a studio album. It's a a compilation.
It is.
I believe "Hatful of Hollow" is their best-selling album because this is all of their singles put onto one album. The Smiths in the 80s. How do I say this diplomatically without pissing off people in the comments? A lot of their albums are really good, but the Smiths became famous because of their singles, and people preferred those over listening to entire albums. Mm-hmm. So, "Hatful of Hollow" is actually the American version of it, and then the British version is called "Louder Than Bombs." They are pretty identical albums, but a lot of the songs that came off of "Hatful of Hollow" were like "Heaven Knows I'm Miserable Now," "You've Got Everything," frickin' "William, It Was Really Nothing," "What Difference Does It Make," "Hand in Glove," "This Charming Man," "How Soon Is Now." If you've ever been depressed, you've listened to the Smiths. I heard a quote one time that...
Never been depressed.
There you go. I've heard a quote one time that said, not everyone... Wait, was it? I'm trying to make sure I phrase it right. Not everyone who is depressed but listens to the Smiths, but everyone who listens to the Smiths is depressed. The Smiths are in alternative music, in post-punk, in sad boy music, anything. The Smiths were infamously like your gateway band into sad music. The reason Smiths are controversial is because Morrissey is the singer, and Morrissey is very greedy and very rude and very mean to artists who are not him. So he had a very years-long legal dispute with the other members of the Smiths because he wanted all the money and said, "I am the Smiths, you guys happen to play the instruments." And it was a big mess. So we don't love Morrissey, but we love the Smiths. Yeah.
Did he win?
No, he did not. They when they very first were splitting the royalties, the Smiths only lasted about 6 years, I believe, and then they broke up because there was so much infighting. The deal was Morrissey, I believe, got, I want to say, like 60% of all the royalties. Johnny Marr, the guitarist, who was mainly the other songwriter, got 20%, and the other two members were getting 10%. And so it was like, but they were all a band. They never had like other members fly in and out. They just were all together the whole time. So then the other two members did a legal thing. And Morrissey the whole time just said like, nobody listened to it because of you. They listened to it because of me. And then the judge was like, this is dumb. You're just going to split it 4 ways. So then it ended up being fine. Anyway, but the Smiths, huge, and lots of great songs off of "Hatful of Hollow." So that's my number 2. And you know I love a good number 2.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Everyone loves a good number 2.
Everyone loves a good Waffles number 2.
So I always thought the Smiths was like a punk band. Is that not the case?
No.
Oh.
So they came from the world of punk, but their decision was to be like, not like anti-punk, but let's take things slow and artsy and yeah.
Okay.
But they started because of punk music. Yeah, look at you. The things you learn on the Deadwax show.
Yeah. That The Cure took advantage of the 80s and
Morrissey takes advantage of people.
Yeah. Most of the 80s. And yeah, Morrissey takes advantage of people because he is the Smiths. Yeah. Who are not a punk band, by the way.
See the things you learn. Yeah.
All right. Cool beans.
Okay. Number 2.
You're going to love my number 2.
Okay.
It is so up Waffles' alley. Oh, sorry. Okay. My computer screen went to sleep again. It is so up Waffles' alley that he's going to love this. My number 2.
Oh my gosh. My fave.
Moving Pictures by Rush, which is if anyone has listened to the show once, you know that Rush is
listen to the show, followed Stooge on TikTok, anything like that.
So I just wanted to show off the red pressing there.
Love it.
But Moving Pictures by Rush, my favorite Rush album. Listen to these songs here. You're not gonna care.
I'm ready.
But it's got Tom Sawyer.
I know
which
that
is
one.
Just a freaking banger of a song in my opinion.
Totally.
They got Limelight on here as well. YYZ, just some really good songs. And
Famous
once
ones,
again,
yep.
Rush can just put on album and just kind of like similar to AC/DC, they have their own kind of unique sound, and you can just put any album on. I think if you like any of their songs, you'll like all of their songs. And so, Moving Pictures just came out in 1981. One of Rush's more well-known or more successful albums. So, just based on, like I said, like Limelight and Tom Sawyer alone, just really great songs. But the rest of the album carries as well. So I would say, especially if you're looking to get into Rush, check out this album. And I think for the 80s, for the Deadwax Essentials, Moving Pictures is definitely going to be on that list. So,
do you know what we should do sometime? We should sit down together and listen to that whole album and do like a live stream of my reaction. Because I might be converted. You never know. You never know.
You will be converted.
Whoa. Type like Clockwork Orange. You tie me down to a chair and force my eyes open. And yeah, love it. No, man, as much as I don't love Rush, I do recognize how cultural. Wow, that was scary that you kept that for so long. As much as I don't love them, I do recognize their importance and cultural significance. So I'm not like downplaying that at all. So excellent choice, my friend.
Yeah, the Canadian royalty.
They're Canadian royalty. What's up?
Both of mine are foreign artists so far, so that's awesome.
Yes, look at you. Mine are too. Mine have all been from England. England was a great time for the 80s.
Cheerio, mate.
Cheerio, mate. Sweaters and jumpers. Okay. So my next one, I hate being that guy. I'm so sorry I'm going to be that guy, though.
No, you don't.
I don't think this one is nearly as important as my other ones, like cultural significance. However, I only had men in my original 5, and I was like, I don't feel comfortable with that. I want to have at least some representation. So this one is actually along the same lines as The Cure and the Smiths, and that is Susie and the Banshees.
Susie and the Banshees.
Susie and the Banshees. This is Tinderbox. This is my favorite one by Susie Sue. So Susie and the Banshees, another goth rock post-punk band. But the reason that I wanted to pick them is because Susie Sue, their singer, was so huge for women in alternative music. From my understanding, I did not live in the 80s. Warning for everybody, I was not born in the 80s. So I couldn't tell you firsthand. But from my understanding, from what I've noticed, what I've studied, is that when the world of like goth rock and post-punk started, it was a very male-heavy thing. It was about art students. It was about guys. They were all kind of sexist. The other reason the Smiths are controversial is a lot of their lyrics are crazy sexist.
AC/DC gets that rap too.
Exactly. But that was really cool about Susie and the Banshees, is that Susie Sue was their singer, and she had this incredibly unique makeup style where she would paint the eyeshadow black up and across her face. And it was really significant. It was a mix of fashion and also like, hey, guess what? I can be a woman and I can make music better than the men can. And she did. Susie and the Banshees were such a great band. Cities and Dust is the biggest song off of this one. I don't think you'll know that song, I'm going to be honest. But it's a great fun. It's like they're more of the poppy side. They're more dancey music than the depressing stuff is.
Hey, nice.
So they're really cool. But because of Susie Sue and the Banshees, lots of women got really involved in alternative music, in post-punk, in goth rock. To this day, a lot of people still credit Susie Sue for being the reason that they wanted to be a singer, for seeing someone represent them and be like, you know what? She wasn't trying to be one of the guys. A lot of issues that women face in music that still exists is there's a pressure to be a dude. You need to be more masculine if you're going to be in a band. But the great thing about Susie Sue is she was just like, no, I'm proudly going to be a woman. And I'm proudly going to show this is exactly what I want to dress like, this is how I want to feel. So Susie's always like a punk, even though she wasn't like a punk singer, she is like a punk rock icon for being like, yeah, be rebellious and be a woman and tell men that they can shove it and be how you want. So that's my third answer, is Susie and the Banshees.
Nice. Susie and the Banshees.
Susie Sue, man, she's rad. I love her.
Like Prince and the Hyenas, or whatever they're called.
Prince Daddy and the Hyenas. Prince and it's just Prince and with a bunch of hyenas.
Playing instruments. Like from Lion King.
How funny would that be if it's just like, all I want is your extra time and your or whatever the hyenas say. Prince and the Hyenas. I love it.
All right. So, my number 3.
Number 3.
So I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna consider myself the biggest fan of this group.
Okay, I'm excited.
But I do think this album's great and it has a lot of fun songs on it. So here on out, my song, like I guess most of my albums, but here on out, like these are what I would consider like albums that are like, I don't know, fun, like just fun to have and listen to. I don't know, cultural significance, like they're not like super introspective records and stuff like that. They're just fun,
Great,
and I really enjoy them. I think people would like to have them in their collection. So my number 3 is
heck yeah,
1984.
I almost had that one too. Yeah.
1984 by Van Halen.
Heck
Because,
yeah, dude.
Hot for Teacher is a freaking banger.
Great
we know
song.
on this album. The drum, pedal intro on the song is freaking
So cool.
Really cool. Then you got Jump, like a synth rock anthem song. That's just like so great.
Yeah, man.
And then Panama is also another great song on there too. Like I said, I outside of kind of the singles, I'm not super familiar with the album. I'm not going to try to say like, oh, I know so much. But I've listened to those songs a lot, and I know that this album. Another reason I like it so much is because it's also the year of my birth, 1984.
Aw,
so I feel a connection with that way as well. But Van Halen, I think definitely is when you think of 80s and you think of hair rock.
Absolutely,
it's like synonymous. So if I was going to make an 80s, like I said, 80s essentials, I feel like this album should definitely be on there. I mean, look at the artwork of that baby, the little cherub
iconic
smoking
a freaking
cigarette and stuff. Just looking at this love, you can just imagine. What do you think he's looking at? Like some couple in love being like, "Oh, those effers don't know what's coming."
Seriously, yeah.
I don't know. But
so
anyways.
Good.
So yeah, that's number 3 on my essentials. So
I am so glad you picked that because that had to hit the chopping block for me. I had that one too, and I didn't get to do it. And I was like, dang it! I wonder if we did like more hair metal. So I'm so glad you picked it.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll have any. I don't know if we'll have any that overlap because I'm pretty sure you're not going to have my number 1.
Yeah, maybe you'll have one of mine actually. Now that I changed my mind. Anyway, yeah. Number 4 though. I know you don't have this one because I know you're not going to like it, but this one is huge for the world of hardcore and punk rock. So this is the first 2 7-inches by Minor Threat. Minor Threat, there's always controversy of who started hardcore, but we all can agree, though, that Minor Threat is the Beatles of hardcore. So they may not have been like the originators, they might have been the first, but they like made it big. So Minor Threat, this album, speaking of like there are Beatles, for hardcore, Minor Threat, this album is like our Abbey Road. Because like this is where it all started for so many people being like, okay, I like punk way more angry. I like punk way more aggressive. What were you gonna say?
Abbey Road's the last Beatles album.
Oh, sorry.
And you said this is where it all started.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Minor Threat had 2 albums, so
the Beatles for sure.
It could have been that thing. So of course, this is also where we get the definition of the term straight edge. Minor Threat being the very first straight edge band. The song Straight Edge comes from this. Anyway, also this is a pretty record. I mean, you can't see it. It's also got white like marbling, but because of the glare, you can't see it very well. Anyway.
Stupid glares.
Minor Threat really, for the world of punk rock, it was for all of the 70s. Punk rock was very established in, dun 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 dun. It was very basic and
we'll go down to smoke shop.
Exactly. Like a few bands were political. And there was just this whole like, I don't know, man. It all kind of sounded the same. And the Minor Threat was like, what if we made it 1,000 times angrier and like made people want to hurt themselves or hurt each other? And then here we are, all these years later, the hardcore still doing that the same way. So first 2 7-inches though, highly recommend for anybody that likes aggressive music. This is a great album. Nice. And also, sadly, Minor Threat infamously has 2 albums and then they didn't want to do it anymore. So they all moved on. But
they're like, over it.
They literally were like, we don't like doing this anymore. Especially the straight edge community in the 80s was a little bit controversial and hypocritical. So Minor Threat was not a fan of what they created at first.
Shocker.
Yeah. But yeah, Minor Threat for because we had to have some kind of heavy music in here. So Minor Threat.
Well, my number 2, once again, it's a band that I'm not going to pretend to know a whole lot about or be super into, but this album is just, it screams 80s for me. Like when I think of the 80s, this band definitely comes to mind, and it's not a far cries away from Van Halen.
Freaking yeah, man.
Slippery When Wet by Bon Jovi. once again, like, I'm not going to pretend like, oh yeah, Bon Jovi. I'm a
Yeah.
huge fan.
You're a master of it. Yeah.
But this album is so good. It's such. I
Slippery
mean,
When Wet's a great album.
like you got what's it called? Living on a Prayer, which is
Mhm.
just so good. Wanted Dead or Alive.
Yep.
And then You Give Love a Bad Name.
The three
Shot
best
to
Bon
the
Jovi
heart,
songs. Yeah.
and you're to blame. It's just, and the rest of the album rocks as well too. Like
Yes,
Bon Jovi
absolutely
brings
great
it.
album.
And how can you not like an album that's titled "Slippery When Wet"?
Seriously, it's so good.
So just once again, like just continuing with my theme, like when I was trying to come up with mine, cultural significance. Yeah, I was considering that as well. But I'm also trying to think like mass appeal. Like if I'm going to make an essentials, it's like I feel like it's got to have a broad appeal. And I feel like Bon Jovi kind of has that with this album. I feel like people from any genre that they gravitate towards mostly could listen to this and still find something to enjoy about it.
Yeah.
And not feel either, alienated and or offended by. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
So Slippery When Wet, my number 2. Once again, not a huge Bon Jovi fan.
That's a great
album. This
Yeah.
album's great, and I think it should be. It's definitely an essential for record collectors or for the 80s.
For sure. And when you toss that one on, nobody frowns. Everybody likes Bon Jovi. Like
Shot to the heart. Yeah. Great album.
I also want to make sure I indicate something. When I was talking about Minor Threat, and I said that they liked making music for people to hurt themselves, I did not mean like self-harm. I realized that sounded really bad. I meant like with moshing. I apologize if that sounded like they were encouraging self-harm. They absolutely did not. So my apologies, everybody.
We have to add a disclaimer.
I know. A little scroll at the bottom.
Support.
Little waffle scroll. Yeah. Okay, so my last one is the one I believe you probably didn't also pick, but I think you might even have this one. So
okay, let's see.
This might be our overlap. We'll see it. But I went with the Black Album by Metallica, which just a great album.
Dude,
cover. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that came out. Didn't that come out in like 91?
Is it 90s?
I'm pretty sure it's a 90s.
Right now I can check it out.
I'm looking it up too. I think it's 91, bro, because I looked at Metallica too, because I considered putting Master of Puppets or Ride the Lightning or
I'm gonna be so
Justice for All. I'll just give you a chance to pick Slippery When Wet or 1984.
Wait. Okay, everyone, keep paying attention.
1991.
Everybody. Gosh, dang it. Okay, well, let's pretend it came out in the 80s. Because I don't want to do all the work. I don't want to do all the work of doing that. So in 1989, Metallica released the Black Album. Dang it, man. I'm pissed at myself.
Actually, in 1989, I think they came out with...
Is Injustice for All that year?
88 is Injustice for All.
Gosh,
do you have any other Metallicas?
No. Because I'm not huge into Metallica. So, like...
What about 1984? Now. It's okay. We all make mistakes.
But okay, I feel stupid now. So okay. I just have 4. I have 4 albums from the 80s. This one's for the 90s episode. Damn it, son! I should have looked. I could have sworn it was like late 80s. Dang it.
Nope, 1991.
All right. Well, hey, I had 4 albums from the 80s.
Okay. Well, it's okay because my number 1 is a heavy hitter.
Oh, it's a heavy hitter. He says.
So everything so far of mine has been white guys jamming on their guitars, you know?
Yes.
And so for the number 1, I thought I'd mix it up to white guys rapping on the mic who also can play instruments. Who can also play instruments. They actually were a punk band before they were hip hop icons.
Yes.
We're going with License to Ill by the Beastie Boys. Every single other album here, it's like, it's essentials, it's good. This is one I would be like, yo, you got to have this in your collection. This is such a fun album. So many good songs. And once again, with the Beastie Boys style, you can just put this record on, play it the whole way through. They've got really good, beats and everything on every single song. But, this is the one that's got, Fight for Your Right to Party, No Sleep Till Brooklyn, Brass Monkey. Like all the huge hits are on License to Ill. And just the iconic, album artwork. I think we've talked about it before too.
Yes.
So
freaking rad.
But the plane crashing into either the ground if you hold it. Oh, wrong way. It's either crashing into the ground or a wall. Whatever.
Either way, it's crashing.
But yeah, there's the guys right there.
There they are.
And this speaking of like criticism and what's the word I'm looking for?
Controversy.
Controversy. That's the word. That's the C word. They have the song on here called
So
Girls.
that's the C word.
That's the C word. We could start some controversy with the C word.
Yeah, we could.
Here we go. I think it's got. Let me see if I got the track list here.
Oh.
Oh, I think this is just actually. Dang it! This is just the sleeve. But it's got the song "Girls" on here. I don't know if you're familiar with that one. It's where they sing about getting girls to do the dishes and to clean up their room and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They later retracted that. I mean, of course they kept it on the album, but they were like, "Oh yeah, we were closed-minded," and since then
They're kids. Yeah.
So, anyways, but this album, great album,
Nice.
great song. So, every other album here is great. Good. This one's great. This is the one
Heck
I'm
yeah.
like, get this one for your collection.
Dude.
So,
love it.
This is one where like I don't judge you if you don't have it, but if you do have them, like, oh, they're cool.
I don't judge you if you don't have it.
But if you do have it,
you're one of the cool kids.
You're cool.
Yeah.
Anyways,
and if you know what albums are actually from the 80s and not the 90s, then you can actually do some research before you start the episode. Chris. Freaking Waffles.
Freaking Chris.
So sorry, dude.
Chris clearly doesn't do the
At least it was just one of 5 and not all 5. That would have been so embarrassing. Yeah.
Everything's from the 90s.
So yeah, my favorite album from the 80s is Beyonce Lemonade. Yeah. Anyway, though.
There you have it.
So there's our 9 albums from the 80s. We're going to be putting... Should we put 1 or 2 songs from each one on the playlist?
I guess I could pick 2.
I say we do 2, because then we only have 9. So...
All right, sounds good.
So we're going to do 2 songs from each album on the Deadwax Weekly playlist, which we'll post links to on our Instagram. They're very easy to find. So there you go.
There we go.
That's today's topic, man.
And then next show, we will be covering the 90s.
Do you know what's a great album from the 90s?
Metallica's Black Album.
Sorry, keep going.
There's a little bit of a spoiler into next show's list. A little preview. Anyways, 90s is going to be the hardest one for me.
90s is tough. I have a ton of 90s albums I love.
Yeah, all of these are tough, but
yeah,
I think I came into music when I was in the 90s, and that's gonna be tough. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, so all right,
Yep.
You ready for some trivia?
I'm very ready for some trivia. Very curious what band it's about too.
I mean, so so I gave a little bit of a preview earlier.
A little preview.
AC/DC was on my top 5 essential albums, so we're going to be covering AC/DC today.
Heck yeah,
and trivia. I figured you'd be doing pretty good at this one too.
I do love AC/DC. My family was raised on AC/DC because my dad loves them. Yeah.
Well, what's not to love,
What's not to love? Right? Yeah.
So I have got 11 questions. Okay. One of them's like a multiple choice kind of deal where you get multiple correct answers. I'll let you know when we get to it, but you can get 5 points from that one. Okay. So here we go. We're going to start with question number 1.
Okay.
If you get, let's say you have to, because it's AC/DC, I'm going to say you have to get at least 10 correct, and you'll be the Jack.
The pressure. Okay.
If you get less than 10, you're a highway to hell.
That's funny. Okay, I'm into it.
All right, here we go. So question number 1. Some of these are pretty easy too. It's like softball.
Okay.
Which country is AC/DC from?
Australia.
Oh, okay, there you go, Mike.
Say. Actually, a lot of people think they're British, but they ain't.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Maybe they should drink more Fosters than people would.
Your Australian accent, dude. Oh,
maybe if they had a kangaroo,
if they had a dingo, baby.
Yeah, look at that koala on the banjo there.
Oh gosh,
that's not a banjo. This is a banjo.
You haven't played Knifey Spoony?
All right. Have we been canceled yet? Not yet.
Not yet. The scroll at the bottom.
Surprisingly.
The scroll.
All right. How many albums does AC/DC have? Studio albums.
Studio album. So probably a good number. I'm gonna guess.
This is a good number,
as opposed to a bad number.
I mean, it's not. They're not quite legal. I'll give you a hint.
They're not. 17.
Good job. Yes.
Dang.
That was a good hint.
I was actually gonna guess 19 before. That's crazy. That was a great hint. Yeah.
That was not quite legal.
They're not Minor Threat with their 2 albums.
Nope, no Minor Threat. Yeah. Minor Threat said all they had to say, and they're like, "We're out."
They're done. Yeah, it's a minor threat. It's not a major threat.
Yeah. No. All right, so this is the multiple point question.
Here we go.
I want you to name 5 AC/DC albums. And every one you do correctly, you'll get a point.
Okay. Back in Black.
Yeah, there you go.
Uh,
Easy peasy.
Is it the Razor's Edge? Is what it's called?
Yes.
Razor's Edge. For those about to rock.
Yep.
Oh man, those are the biggest ones. What was the one that Thunderstruck was on? It has the album cover has like the guitar going inside of him. It's like stabbing him.
It's stabbing him. Okay.
Yeah, it's
not.
not
When
the
you
other
said going
way.
inside of him,
Not
I
the
thought
other way.
something
It's
else.
stabbing him. I've only got 3. I need 2 more.
Some people really love guitars, I guess.
Yeah, we're really into guitars. Our guitars are really into them. I don't know, dude. I think I can only name the 3 off the top of my head.
Oh my gosh, only the 3?
Wait, is there a self-titled? Is there an AC/DC? Oh wait, no. There's also it's in pink writing. And they're at like a Fetch on a Monkey.
I don't know what that is. I don't know. I don't know.
Is there a self-titled one? Is there a self-titled AC/DC?
No, there's not a self-titled one.
What is the one? It's in a pink font. The album has them at like a motel or something.
I have no idea. Oh yeah, I do. I know what you're talking about. With the blurred, the bars and eyes. Yeah, I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Oh, Highway to Hell, duh. Oh my gosh.
Yep, there you go. That's 4.
And then the one I can't think of.
Start naming off some AC/DC songs. A lot of their albums are named after songs.
Okay, good point. Thunderstruck is not an album. It was just a song off of the one with the guitar stabbing him. Another AC/DC song for those about to rock, Highway to Hell. Shook Me All Night Long is off of the one with the pink writing. Shoot on a Monkey, man. I'll just have to stick it at 4.
They're not clean acts, and they're done for not expensive.
Oh, Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap is the one I'm thinking of with you gave me that one. I won't. I won't. Yeah, that's not fair.
So you're
I got my 4. Yeah.
No. You're at You're at 6. You're at 6. Okay, here we go. What was their debut album? Oh, you're not going to know this. You didn't even name it.
Oh yeah. I don't know.
Think of A Lot of Electricity.
It's Thunderfield. Lightning.
The opposite of low electricity.
High voltage.
There you go. You got it.
There you go.
All right. Their best-selling album?
Back in Black.
There you go.
It's actually the second best-selling album of all time, Stooge.
Yeah, I bet you know that. Do you know how many units it sold worldwide?
Ooh.
Gosh. That is like the opposite of ASMR.
5 million?
Yeah, the second best-selling album of all time sold 5 million. Give me a break, dude.
6 million? I'm gonna confidently say 7 million. I don't know, dude. What's the answer?
It's 50 million.
Oh, I was getting there. I was on my way. If you just wouldn't have stopped me, I would have just kept going until I got to 50.
All right.
Oh, lame.
So you've got 7 right now?
Yes.
All right.
7.
Okay. You're not going to get this one either. What's their most recent album called? Came out in 2020.
I didn't know they had an album in 2020.
It's still going.
It's called Senility Rules. I don't know what it's called, dude.
It's called Seniority. Power Up.
Oh. Okay.
All right. How many Grammys have they won?
We're just doing wins, not nominations, correct?
Just the wins, yeah.
Okay.
If you're within 2, I'll give it to you.
Okay, I'm going to say 6.
Only got 1, dude.
AC/DC has only one Grammy.
Yeah, only 1 Grammy.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I hate the Grammys.
Yeah. Yep. All right, those are the hard questions. This is the only remaining original member of the band.
Angus, right?
Very good. Angus Young.
Angus Young.
All right. This man became the lead singer of AC/DC after Bon Scott's sudden passing in 1980.
Why can't I think of his mother freaking name? He's the singer now, right? He's been the singer for like ever.
Crying Johnson.
Brian Johnson?
There you go.
I'm not taking that point because you held my hand, but it is Brian Johnson. I feel stupid now. Well, there you go.
All right. And here's the last one.
Okay.
What is Stooge's favorite AC/DC song?
Ooh, I love this. You should be doing this question more. Okay, look at the camera real fast. Look right with your eyes at the camera. For those about to rock, we salute you.
No.
Dang it. Is it Thunderstruck?
It's got rock in it, though.
We will rock you.
Yes, We Will Rock You
no,
by
no,
AC/DC.
That's not my answer. My answer is it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll.
No, that's a good one, though.
Dang it. What is it?
Let There Be Rock. It's a good one.
I loved rock bands that like would talk about rock. Yeah. That's the funniest thing to me. Bro, I am a highway to hell. I only had 8.
Yep, you are a highway to hell.
I'm a highway to hell.
You
No shot there.
son of a gun.
Son of a freaking gun.
All right, there you go. That is
Dude, that was a great trivia. Good work.
Trivia for the AC/DCs.
Trivia. We're going to add some AC/DC songs besides Back in Black to the playlist, so get ready for that.
Yeah.
AC/DC got
maybe Let There Be Rock.
tons of hits. Ooh, Let There Be Rock is going to be on there for sure.
Let There Be Rock. Sorry.
To wrap up today's episode, usually we have gotten questions from our friends on Instagram, or we've used the mixtape game. However, I kind of flubbed this week, so we're not going to do either. What?
You know what I forgot to do?
What'd you forget to do?
I feel we were so bad at this, Waffles.
What'd we do?
I forgot to mention a couple of things before going into trivia, and I want to do that right now before we go into.
You're totally welcome to.
Here, let me open up the Instagrams because I put out a question on social media asking people, asking our friends. You triggered it, so that's good because you said our friends.
I would way prefer we talk about this than the questions I have.
Okay, so I asked our friends in a post to name an 80s
yes, you
album.
did. Yes.
I said name an 80s. Thank you for confirming so enthusiastically.
No. I'm thinking about the other one that you said. What are the top 5 albums of all time, or whatever?
Yeah, I did top 5 of all time.
Yeah.
But we've got that. But I'll save it for another time.
Okay.
But I also asked for the 80s.
Yes.
So I wanted to share some of the responses we got.
Yes, please do.
So Vinyl Impulse, Kelly.
Yep, she's great.
She said she's actually got a couple on here that we talked about. She suggested Bon Jovi, "Slippery When Wet."
Nice.
Def Leppard's "Hysteria."
Oh, that's a great answer.
She also recommended AC/DC's "Back in Black."
Hell yeah.
So those are hers.
Awesome.
Let's see here. Shizzo Records. Do you know
I
that
don't know
is?
Shizzo Records.
Oh, no, it's Schizo Records.
Oh, I don't know Schizo Records either. I don't know either.
At Schizo Records. I could read.
He
said Tom Waits, Rain Dogs.
Oh, I love Tom Waits.
I
don't have any Tom Waits records, sadly.
Karen, neither do I.
Yeah, I love Tom
Karen
Waits.
Vinyl Girl said Bangles, Different Light.
Ooh,
Different Light by the
great.
Bangles.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We have Dennis, Utah Vinyl, etc.
We love Dennis. Yeah.
He said Ill Communication by the Beastie Boys.
Heck yeah.
Mr. Juan Hunnett. Chris said Purple Rain and Thriller. So Prince and Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Good answers.
Oh gosh. Paulo Mike. P-A-H low Mike. Paulo Mike.
I don't know Paulo Mike.
I don't know. He also said
Paulo Mike.
He said Def Leppard, Hysteria as well.
Dude, we should have included that. I have that.
Nikki No Good said Black Album by Metallica.
Nikki, thank you.
I'm lying. He didn't say that. He said Master of Puppets.
I
was teasing you.
That's fine.
Master of Puppets by Metallica by Nikki No Good.
Okay.
And then Lieutenant Dan said Bad Brains. He just said Bad Brains. I'm guessing they have
Bad
self-titled.
Brains rules. Yeah.
They're a punk band.
They certainly are. They are also one of the arguments of the first hardcore band. That's why I brought it up.
Gotcha.
Dan's the best. I love Dan.
So those were the responses.
Yes.
And then something I wanted to share just as an educational part of the show. Where are you at? Here we go.
Okay, here we go.
From bestsellingalbums.org, I have a list here of the best-selling albums of the 1980s. Would you like to hear the top 10?
I would love to hear the top 10.
So, number 1. Come on. Thriller by Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
That album has sold 66 million units.
That is so crazy.
Number 2.
Back in Black.
Back in Black by AC/DC.
Back in Black.
How many does it sold? 7 million, right?
50 million.
So, 50 million. Number 3. is Bad by Michael Jackson,
Oh,
45
nice.
million units. Number 4 is actually the Dirty Dancing soundtrack at 32 million.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Number 5, Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction at
That
30
makes
mil.
sense.
Number 6 is Dire Straits, Brothers in Arms.
Oh, okay.
That did 30. Number 7 is Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen. That's also done
Yes.
30. Number 8 is Legend by Bob Marley and the Wailers.
Oh, okay.
28 million. Number 9 is Faith by George Michael. 26
Yes,
mil.
makes sense.
And then number 10, excuse me, geez, is Greatest Hits by Journey. 25 million, which I
Well,
feel
there
is
you
kind
go.
of cheating. And then Hysteria,
Yeah.
Def Leppard is number 11.
Yeah.
Then U2, Madonna, Phil Collins, Purple Rain. You know, it goes.
Yeah,
This
man,
goes
those are
on.
awesome.
Lots of great albums, but yeah, that's
Seriously.
the top 10 best-selling albums of the 80s. So that
Dude,
would be
I
kind
love
of
it.
fun to share.
This whole episode has proven to me I need to be buying more albums from the 80s because I've forgotten how many some of these were like incredible records that I just don't own.
Mm-hmm. There was a lot of good
Lame.
ones out there.
So, just because we're at 1 hour already, I'm just going to ask 2 of the questions that I'm curious to hear
Okay.
your answers are.
All right,
So,
let's
like
do
I
it.
said, I didn't come up with these. They're not from the game. I just Googled them. But one, I don't have an answer for. I'd love to hear Stooge's answer because I never asked them
Okay.
before. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready for this.
What is your favorite region of hip hop and why?
My favorite region of hip hop.
So, like, East Coast, West Coast, whatever.
Yeah. So
I've never heard your answer on this. Oh.
Yeah, so there's I'm from California, so
Yes.
I think people automatically think I'm like SoCal hip hop, West Coast hip hop. You know, that Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, kind of hip hop. When I was younger, I would argue for that. I think it was more of a pride thing because that's where I was from.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, it's superior to all the other forms. But you got hip hop from like the South. Your Ludacris, your Outkast.
Very
That stuff's
true.
really great too. I love that Southern hip hop. They got slightly, and I'm not a huge expert on hip hop, but they got like hip hop from Texas that sounds different, from Detroit,
Yes.
From Philly. Like it's all got its own little kind of flavor to it. But by far my favorite, and I think just it's kind of hard to argue, the best hip hop, it comes from New York, where it originated. Because that's where you got your Biggies, you got your Wu-Tang, you've got your Nas, your Tribe Called Quest, and there's a lot of great artists everywhere.
Yeah.
Beastie Boys from New York, actually. So it's just it's I don't want to say it's better. I'm using the wrong word. It's not better. It's what I prefer. It's what
favorite.
I like.
That was the question.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I tend to lean to, is that
Love it.
style of hip hop is New York or East Coast, whatever you want to call it, style of hip hop. So
Love it,
I'm
dude.
basic.
Great answer.
I'm basic.
Hey, there's no basicness to it when you're proving what your favorite is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the other question I wanted to ask that we will just wrap up for time. What is your favorite music video? I don't think we've ever gone over that.
My favorite music video. That is
Yeah,
a really
I don't think
good
we've ever
question.
asked that. Yeah. So we don't tend to talk about music videos.
Man, I'm just thinking of stuff. I'm trying to think. Who did Blink usually did funny videos. I remember that
I
stuff.
love Blink videos.
And Damn It, or all the small things.
Uh-huh.
I used to I haven't really watched music videos for a long time.
It's kind of a dead art. Because it used to be like a thing you put on TV, right? And
it's Total Request Live, and I'm trying to think of my favorite one. Do you have a favorite one? While I'm trying to think some more still.
So one, if it's just not by like a favorite band, when I think of just the video, that's really fun. It is that one from OK Go in the 2000s, where on the treadmills.
Oh yeah.
That one was so stupid, but like the funnest video, and it was huge for them. They became like a music video band. For those listening that are slightly younger, when music videos were on TV and you could like get one to go big before things would go viral, you could become a band that was famous off of music videos. And in the 2000s, OK Go made an entire career off of the most mediocre music, but everybody knew it because of the videos. And the treadmill one was so fun.
Here we go again.
Look at you.
So
Weezer used to have really great videos too.
Go. Weezer does good videos.
Weezer used to have bomb videos.
The ones that sticks out to me the most, I don't know what's my favorite. But shoot, what's that one by Korn with the bullet? It's not Got the Life. Freak on a Leash. That was always a really cool video that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, man, the Freak on a Leash video is really cool.
Like, I wish I would have had more time to prepare because I could really make.
Oh,
We should do that. Should be a topic.
That
we
could be a
talk about
topic
sometime.
for sure.
Is really good music videos. So
yeah, let's do it sometime. Yeah.
For sure.
So,
I'll stick with that one for now. Either
Okay.
that or Intergalactic by the Beastie Boys.
Oh, I love that video.
Yeah, where they're got the like the Godzilla,
the giant fake
trope.
robot thingy. Yeah,
that's a fun. You know, that's Sabotage. That's a great video.
The Sabotage video is hilarious.
Where they're like dressed up in like 80s or 70s cop, out get-ups, and they're doing the spoof on those kind of TV shows of that era. So
the Fight for Your Right video is really funny too.
Yeah.
These boys had great videos.
They do. They have great videos for sure.
And we'll find a way to like also when we do that to like show the video. I know we can't actually watch it because of copyright claim, but people still don't know what we're talking about. Anyway, that's just a thought. So
just
thank you, Stooge. Thank you for your music video musing videos. We're already pretty far into this episode, but any other thoughts, Stooge, you want to throw to the people? Any other ideas? Concepts?
Yeah, one last musing I got to give. I guess the first one I got two. The first one would be thanks again for everyone participating in the Deadwax challenge.
Yeah.
I'm from England. The Deadwax challenge. That's been really fun, really cool to see. I hope that everyone's enjoyed it. Second thing, of course, I got to shout out Rustic Records.
That's right, you freaking do.
Brian just had a drop. Rustic Records had a drop this past Friday. He called it the discography drop because he had I want to say like 50 bands and like multiple albums from each artist. So that way you could like try to fill in your discography if you're trying to collect those. So lots of cool stuff to choose from. I kid you not, he's almost to like 1,000 titles on his website now. He's got hundreds. Yeah, his inventory keeps growing. He keeps getting a lot of good stuff. So go check that out. If you buy anything, even if you don't buy anything, but you should buy something.
Go check it out. Yeah.
Use discount code Stooge when you're checking out. You'll save yourself 5%. And then that way you could save a little bit of money because things are a little tight.
Green.
A little bit of tight, but that was my. I don't know.
I loved it.
Anyways,
I loved it. Call whatever you want.
Like it out now.
Yeah.
So yeah, discount code Stooge, 5%. Once again, that code is STOOGE.
Stunning, beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
You know what else people can do, Stooge, if they're looking to get into pop punk, is if they go to Thriller Records. Thriller Records is a record label that is brand new, and they are putting out a lot of great pop punk titles.
Have you sold out too?
Yeah, but not officially, but I also have.
Oh,
anyway, if you go check out Thriller Records, my favorite band signed to them is In Her Own Words. Highly recommend. Great record label.
Look at us,
just absolute morons.
Sellouts, yeah.
This actually is Wayne's World now. We joke about that. This has become that's not even a joke anymore. It's just what it's become.
We should totally do that video sometime.
Yeah, seriously. All right, everybody.
Like some people only do something because they get paid.
And then we have our shirts on from our record labels and stores and stuff. Thank you to anybody who made it this far into the episode. We really appreciate you all very much. Like we mentioned before, please follow us on social media. We are at Deadwax Show on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. We're going to get better at Twitter. We promise. It is a pinky promise we're making to all of you.
A very loose promise.
Very loose promise. But follow us there because that's where you're going to find out not only about when we're posting new episodes and the Deadwax Weekly playlist, but when we're going to post about who is the winners of our Deadwax Vinyl Challenge. So if you follow us there, you'll be in the know. It'll be great for everybody.
The know.
Exactly.
Did you know the know is like shorthand for Fresno?
The know is what you can call Fresno?
No.
I did not know this.
Mm-hmm.
You going to head up to the know sometime?
I hope so.
There you go. The things you learn on the Deadwax Show.
Some good record stores in the know.
Yes, truly indeed. You got to be in the know to be in the know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly.
Those who know.
Oh, that was funny. Anyway, without making you all keep hearing our voices for the rest of the day, we will finally say goodbye. Thank you, everybody, for listening today. Thank you for being a part of the Deadwax Show. Whether you've been posting for the Vinyl Challenge or listening to us, we appreciate all of it. And lastly, please get out of the groove and get into the dead wax of it all. Goodbye, everybody. The police are coming!